Welcome to my office. So this is the fourth part of the blog series for the Beckett's promotion for profit. And this is just came out this month. And so if you're here, hopefully you've been to Stanley Fletcher's blog on the 3rd, and it ran the week, and then which talked about the background of the Becketts and also Disappear. And then on the 10th of April for the week, I was visiting with Marie Higgins at her blog about Innocent. And then on the 17th, I was visiting with Judy Baker at her blog about Quiet. Now, these three ladies I've known forever, and I love these. They're great authors. They have great books. You need to go visit their sites. And well, we all write romance, of course, and that's how we met with the Utah Romance Writers of America. But anyway, today I am here to talk about not the last two, but the last two that are available. The last book of the series is Abandoned, and it will be out hopefully soon. I'm working on it now. The Beckett series is compiled of a family, and the parents are called the elders, and we're pretty sure me and Tyler and the rest of the gang think Christine's the one that dumped him that. The oldest is Tyler Beckett. His book is Disappear. And then there is Christine's the second to the oldest. And then there is Matt, and his book just came out this month. And then there is Jessica. She's the math teacher, and that is Innocent. And then there's the California twins, which is Reagan and Glenna. And Reagan's story is Illusion, and she actually moved back to the East Coast, and so she's no longer part of the California twins. And Glenna, who owns I can never remember the name. It is Glenna's Surprisingly Vintage. It's her shop in Calistoga. And her story is the last. It's called Abandoned. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about illusion and profit. Now, all of the books are standalone, except for Illusion and Profit. And I mean, you could read them. You could read Illusion out of order. But if you read Profit before Illusion, you'd kind of understand you'd kind of know what happened in Illusion. I mean, kind of find out. If you read Quiet, you would know that, that the couple in Disappear and Innocent got together, which it's a romantic suspense. It's mostly about the story, but it also has the relationship too. And so you still, you kind of know that before you start the book anyway. So anyway, Illusion is Reagan's story, and she actually is on a cyber terrorist team for the federal government. It's a private, it's off on their own, it's kind of secret, nobody really knows too much about it, and it's all about finance. And it starts with her being brought into DC to work on a financial that they think is going to. There's a group trying to take over the World Banking Association, WBA, and it has 5 entities, and so they're going to a convention to try and find the person who is over these 5 entities and see if they can stop it. His name is Andrew Phillips, and he is head of the organization, and he is trying to take down the World Banking Association and its 5 entities. He's not really trying to take it down as much as he is trying to take it over. He has spent almost all of his life going toward this. In fact, it started with 5 or 6 people, actually 6 people, 10, 12 years ago, when they came up with this idea that if they took over all the entities of the World Banking Association and kind of drove it in their direction to get rid of the super rich and the super poor and bring everybody together and take away the violence and everything. So everybody had the same. Everyone was equal. Everyone did their part. Everyone, all the towns grew their own. They kept themselves. They were sustained by their own work, by their own people, self-contained. And so utopia, and that's what they wanted. And, through the ages, there's been many people who, many people. I'm not going to say who because it's all in the book, so you'll have to read them, of who have tried this and failed. And so anyway, that's how she meets Paco. And Paco is joining the group, and he knows that he is going to be meeting Agent Beckett. Only he thinks he's going to meet Agent Tyler Beckett. He doesn't realize he's meeting the sister. And anyway, so they end up having to team up, and I can't give away tell a lot about the story, or I'd give away some of the backstory that's a relationship with her personal relationship of Reagan, because the reason she moved to the West Coast is because of some things that happened when she was in high school. She was really smart, and she kind of hacked into the school system to give some people some A's. And anyway, but it's a lot more complicated than that. But anyway, they go after him, and this Andrew Phillips has hired a guy to take care of the top people of, like, the World Banking Association and the other entities, the top CEOs and everything. He already has his people they were hired legitimately. They had the right background. They applied for the job. They got the job. They'd been working there for 10 years. These are their co-workers. They're, everybody knows them. Their family, their godparents of other people's kids. And this headman is brought in to take care of, and Phillips got him from the dark web. He wanted him to take care of these people non-violently, just get them out of the way. Well, that isn't quite what happened. He's called the headman for a reason, and you'll have to read it to find out. But anyway, so he kills the first, the head guy of the World Banking Association and the top two entities. And then their people stepped in, and now it's their time to start, taking over. Well, the whole thing was supposed to take care of all the entities at once, but, Reagan and Paco and their team got rid of, caught the headman. So anyway, it kind of leaves you hanging, because Phillips, the nonviolent dreamer who's completely delusional, is still out there, and so are the people that they think they know who is still working. They've never been able to prove it. They've never been able to prove who's the people stepped in or part of this. And so that's where Prophet comes in, Matt's story. And it's taking place in D.C. because that's where the World Banking Association is headquartered and most of their entities. And he works with the lovely Bryn. And Bryn was one of the targets of the headman, and luckily they caught him before she got her end. And so she is she's kind of not really coerced, but she wants to help. She's not really excited about helping with Matt because she thinks he's a player and he doesn't have a serious bone in his body, and they're both accountants. So how do accountants, like Matt says, he calls the rest of his family the cloak and dagger side of the family, and he's an accountant, for God's sake. What is he going to do? So anyway, that's where we are, and Prophet is, the conclusion. And so Illusion actually is Utopia at the beginning, and Prophet is Utopia at the conclusion. And then Abandon, when it comes, will be another standalone. And so anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the Beckett series.